Alright, so the next thing we can do is the teeth, and let's take a look at what we've got. And there you go, there's the teeth. So let's select the cube, and let's just make it a bit bigger so we can see it better. And let's put it into position, and something like that. Let's just make it taller like that, and let's see what we can do with it. And we don't have to make it like completely straight. We can actually, you know, oops, I didn't want to grab the mesh. So what we can do is let's just bring it forward for now. There we go. So we can actually see it better, and maybe we can just widen this out a little bit so it's not perfectly straight. There we go. And maybe just make this just a little bit wider as well. Something like that. Let's zoom in on it, and let's make sure the pivot is in the center. We can make it thinner. There we go. Maybe like that. Alright, okay, so let's grab the multi-cut. Let's put an edge loop in the center here. And also, we probably don't need these top faces, so we can delete them, because they're going to be intersected in the top here. Right, okay, so we don't want them just completely crisp. So let's grab these two edges, let's hit bevel, and let's add some segments, and let's just bring it in a little bit, just to give it a kind of a rounded edge, like that. I think that looks fine. What else can we do? We can grab these edges at the top here. There we go. And also these edges along the bottom. And let's hit bevel. And let's just add a couple of segments. Just bring the fraction in a little bit like that. So there you go. So we've got just a little bit of roundness to them. Let's take a look. Hit 3. There you go. At the bottom here, actually, with the first bevel, maybe just make the fraction just a bit bigger. There we go. I think that'll look cool. Okie doke. Right, okay, so obviously the next thing we need to do is make these four-sided. So grab the multi-cut, and let's take a look at the settings. Edge flow needs to be unchecked or switched off. So there you go, because we want to keep these edge loops here flat along the surface. And there we go. So we can place an edge loop here so it connects them, and this can go up. There you go, and this can go up as well. Actually, what we can do is just delete one half. Just work on this half, and then we can just mirror it over. Saves us a bit of time. There we go. And let's add some edge loops just to tighten the bevel. And also there. Okie doke. Let's hit 3. And there you have it. We have a tooth. And so what we can do is, I'm just going to add another edge loop there. And we want to I can't even pronounce the word now. We want to mirror this across, and if you take a look, it's not going to be in the world axis, because as you can see, the line here, the geometry isn't crossing over the line, it's staying on the same side. So that means we need to mirror in object space, and when we mirror an object space, we want to make sure that the pivot is at the edge of the geometry from where the mirror occurs. And so I'm going to just hit center pivot. So as you can see, the pivot is not at the edge of the geometry. So if you hold down DV middle mouse snap, we now know the pivot is at the edge of the geometry. So it's minus X in object space. So mirror, so object x minus, and there you have it. And we have the first tooth done. Okay, Control D to duplicate it, and we can use this to make the second tooth. And that seems a bit weird there. And you know what I've done? This is what I've done. I forgot to do the back of the tooth. Not a problem, because what we can do is just delete the back half and just mirror it over. And again, you know, I'm going to center the pivot just to demonstrate that we need the pivot to be at the edge of the geometry from which the mirror is going to occur, which is in this direction. And now it's object space minus Z, so remember that. So object Z, and there we go, minus, and there you have it. Job done. Alright, okay, Control D, duplicate the tooth, center the pivot, bring it out like this, and obviously this one is a bit smaller, and also the shape is slightly different. It actually gets narrower as it goes down, so we can actually grab these vertices, hit B for soft select. This looks like it might be a bit too big, the brush. Bring it down just a little bit here, and we can do this. There we go. Boom. Center the pivot. Let's just make it a bit bigger. There we go, something like that. Let's take a look, and as you can see, there's a little bump there, and to get rid of this bump we can do some edge flow, I believe. Boom. There we go. We're kind of straightening it out a bit better. Oops. I believe that should be fine. What I'm going to do with this portion, this edge loop here, is I'm going to go to Mesh Tools, Slide Edge, and just kind of bring it down. There we go. And let's take a look there. So from the corner, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. From the corner, 1, 2. We can grab this and bring it down as well. Like that. And let's just delete these edge loops for now. Boom, there you go. So it creates a straighter line. And I'm going to bring this down a bit more. Oops, wrong direction. Here. Then grab the multi-cut, add an edge loop here, and then just a couple there. And there you go. So we've got the two teeth, and what we need to do now is put them into position. Now if we move them back, we don't want them to touch the geometry here. Now as you can see, this is going to cause a problem, and so what we can do first of all is think about the lips. Now if you take a look at the image, I get the impression that the top lip comes out more than the bottom lip, and so what we can do is work on this bit. And so let's grab, say, these vertices here, hit B, make it bigger, maybe like this, and just bring them forward a bit more. And I'm going to make the brush size even bigger. And let's just do that. Let's have a look. Not bad. Okay, one more time. Make the brush size even bigger. I don't want it too big. I don't want it to affect the eyes, so you've got to be careful with the borders there. We can just bring this forward a bit more. Maybe something like that. There we go. Okie doke. And So, okay, let's tackle the big two first. And bring it in. Spin it around. Like that. So it follows the shape of the lip. And it needs to go in even more. And the same for the smaller one. Spin it around. Oops. This way. Not bad. And we could just bring this out just a bit more, to be honest. So there we go. Push this in a bit more. Push that in a bit more. Okay, so it kind of comes, if you take a look at the images much further down, the teeth here, as you can see, they're much longer than what we see in there. Now, if you think that that's a problem, what you can do is just select these vertices and make sure the pivot is in object mode and just drag them down. There you go. So now it aligns with the image. And also this one here. So there we go. There's our teeth. Center the pivot. I'm going to make them just a bit wider. There we go. Let's have a look. Yeah. There you go. We have done the teeth. Another thing we can do if you want, it's entirely up to you, is maybe just bring the mouth in a little bit. Kind of, let's have a look. Just a little bit. So it kind of looks a bit more closed, to be honest with you. How's that? Let's take a look now. I think that looks fine. Boom, boom, boom. Slight little stretch in here for some reason. Let's just grab this edge loop and let's do an edge flow. Boom. And the same for this side here. There we go. That's much better. It's just slight little stretch in here. That seems fine. I don't know if that's going to improve it. Not really. I think it's fine as it was before. So we've got a bit of a lump here as well, and that's because of the funky geometry here. So let's just grab this let's go into component mode. Let's just push this in a little bit. There we go. And let's hit 3. That's much better now. It's barely noticeable. Just kind of bring it up a little bit to the side. There we go. It's more or less gone. You can barely see it. You have to be very close up to kind of see it. Perhaps if we do an edit edge flow, it might cure it. So, boom. Yeah, there you go. It's gone. It's barely noticeable. Yep. Okay, and what else do we need to do? Here, this could be a bit of a problem here. Can you see a bit of stretching along here? And that's because the geometry here is a little bit weird, as you can see here. Let's see how we can deal with that. Let's have a look. Let's grab this edge loop here and let's do an edit edge flow. Let's see if that solves the problem. Maybe. That looks better actually. Bit of a nostril kind of vibe. But it kind of goes up, as you can see. It's this geometry here that's acted a bit weird. We can actually change this, to be honest. And so let's do that. And so let's connect this edge loop to that edge loop. And I think that will make for better geometry. Kind of move it up. Move this across. So this edge loop now, just instead of going down, it runs across. And it can run across to the center. The center is here. Okay, so that's that bit done. And so here it's a bit messy now, so we don't want this to go down anymore. What we can do is actually add some more geometry here. So this can now go across. So from here it goes across like this and like that. And so we can get rid of that. Control delete. There you go, so that's that bit done. And what else can we do? This looks a bit weird as well, and also now we have a weird triangle here as well. So what we can do is put an edge here and get rid of that diagonal edge. And by the way, we're only working on one half, so while we're at it we might as well just delete this half, and we'll just mirror over once we're done with this bit. Alright, okay, so let's take a look at what we got here, because it does look a bit messy. And so we can add some more geometry here. Boom, and there you go. Now I want to see where this takes us. So it goes all the way around, all the way, and then it loops back up through the arm and to the eyeball. Wow. That is one heck of a edge loop. Right, okay, so at least we know where that's going. Okay, so that's that bit done. And again, you know, we can get rid of this diagonal edge and create another edge loop here. Boom, let's connect it. And again, I want to see where this takes us. So all the way across and all the way up. Okay, that's fine. Right, I'm gonna select this face and zoom in on it. Okay, so this is what we've got so far, and I don't like this diagonal, so I'm going to continue the edge flow like that, and I'm going to get rid of this. There we go, and this can go up, and so we can create even more geometry. And again, you know, it's always worth seeing where it takes you. So it goes all the way across there. Okay. Again, let's add more geometry here. Okay, and there we go, and get rid of this here and create another edge loop. And let's see where this takes us. All the way around. Okay, so it looks like just sorting out this nostril is going to be a big job. And then what I want to do is just add more resolution here. There we go. And I would say we're done for now. And so what we've got to do obviously is to clean it up, because if we take a look at it in its current form, you can start to see where we've added the extra geometry, and so it looks messy and ugly there, as you can see. And so we can either use the edit edge flow, or we can make live geo, bring that back. There we go, this dude here, and boom, make live. Select the geometry, go back into quad draw, and what we can do now is relax the geometry. Hit B, too big, bring it down a bit more, there we go, and just relax the geometry. Oh, that looks a bit nasty, what happened there? Oh, it's because the inside, we created the inside, so we have to be careful with that. As you can see, look, okay, it's attaching to the inside. Alright, let's deal with that. Let's have a look. Yeah, you see, it's made the geometry go a bit crazy because of this bit. Alright, so not a problem. All we need to do is just detach it. So select this edge loop here, and shift right mouse button click and just say detach components. Boom. So this has now been detached, so all we need to do is go to mesh and separate. And there we go. I'm gonna hit up arrow key, puts it in a group. Let's ungroup it. There we go. So we can hide this. There we go. And now bring back, where is it? There it is. We can hit make live, select the geometry, quad draw. Now let's see what happens when we try to smooth it, and it's still going a bit crazy for some reason. Oh, okay. We moved this away from the surface. That's why. It's not part of the surface. Okay, okay. I understand now. I understand what's going on. What we need to do is just move this up. And so this rests on the surface. Alright. Okay, let's switch that off. What we can do then is make a copy of this. Control D. There you go. There's the copy. So we can call this copy geometry. And I spelled it wrong, whatever. Okay, and so with the copy selected, we can use that for the make live. And then let's grab our proper geometry, hit quad draw, and let's see what happens when we do a relax. There you go. Problem solved. Okie dokie, so I'm going to stop the video here, and then we're going to get back next video and actually start sorting out all this ugly geometry.